everyone. I'm Molly O'Brien, lifestyle editor here at Go Local Prop. Welcome to Go Local Live in the Navigate and Credit Union Broadcast Center. I'm here with Heather Gutshall with Outbound Hounds. How you doing, Heather?
Great. How are you?
Good. So good to see you.
You too.
So we're talking about dogs, obviously, dog training. And when you go for a walk with your dog, it should be fun, it should be enjoyable, it should be relaxing, it should be for exercise. And a lot of times, it's not.
It should not result in injury from having your arm torn off, right?
Yeah, your arm should not be ripped out of your socket. You should not be loud. It should not be a stressful event. So you're going to help us because you are a trainer.
I'm going to try.
You're going to talk to us a little bit about different products that you can use to make things more enjoyable and more beneficial for you and your dog.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So first let's talk about why dogs pull. Frequently, well, obviously they pull because there are really exciting things in the environment that they want to get to. But frequently, the very easiest, fastest, fix that I can recommend to folks is to switch up the location of the connector of the leash. So, a lot of folks have, they don't want to put that pressure on the dog's trachea, so they think a body harness is the way to go. So they'll go to, the local pet store and they'll get a harness that attaches to the back.
Okay.
And this is the same story if they have a collar that has just a D-ring, but they put the leash on and then it swings around to the back. So if when you're walking, the point of connection is on the back of the dog, the back of their neck because the collar swung around, or the back of the harness, they are almost certainly going to be pulling you. And the reason why is because when they feel that tension, it triggers the opposition reflex.
Which is?
Like if I go to push you, the reason that you don't fall over is because you lean into the push.
Okay.
So the same way your dog feels the tension on the back and they lean into that tension.
Yeah.
They almost support themselves on it. So you're holding up the dog as he's walking and pulling forward. So we can very easily kind of cheat and just by making a very quick change in the equipment, it's not even dog training, it's just changing up the equipment, to connect him to the front. We've got, there's several products out there just for body harnesses that connect to the front. So I recommend for, mild to moderate pullers, we can go with the Easy Walk harness. They're about $20. They come in all different sizes. No, it's really not.
You can buy a collar for $20.
Absolutely, and just making that small switch, a lot of times will fix the problem.
Wow.
And so they just basically go, I'm going to show you on this.
Okay, so we're going to hold it back here. Does that look okay, Tony?
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
Okay. So an Easy Walk just will come around the front and go under here and connect up front. So that's for mild to moderate pullers.
Okay.
For dogs that pull a little bit more, where you have that sore shoulder the next day after you've taken them out for a walk, we recommend a Freedom harness. And this dog, Yazzie, here, this is one of my clients, she's wearing the Freedom harness. Truman here, he's wearing the Freedom harness. So,
hi, Truman.
Yeah. So that's this. And it goes on the dog like this and comes around.
So it wraps over their front legs.
Yeah, and connect. So then you've got this point of contact here where you can connect the leash. It comes with a double leash. See how Truman has connected there with the double leash?
Oh,
so you can connect
leashes.
both. It's one leash with two connecting points. So you can use it on the front or the back. A lot of times we'll graduate to just having it on the front. But for moderate pullers, a lot of times this is also enough. Now, it's not going to train the perfect heel, but it's definitely going to relieve some of that tension just by switching the position of the leash.
And that's more comfortable for the dog.
Much more comfortable and safer than having them pull on their trachea.
Pull on their neck or pull on
their back. Now, these are about $40. These are called the Freedom Harness by Two Hound Designs. And they come in a lot of different colors. They're a little bit nicer than the Easy Walk. They're double the price, but they have this padded part that goes under their front leg so that it doesn't rub.
And so that will help give you more control over your dog.
Absolutely.
And safer as well. Because it's not giving that tug on the trachea and not on the back as well.
Absolutely.
So you're not giving the yank.
Right. Now, dogs can wiggle out of these. I mean, it doesn't happen very often, but if your dog is like pulling like crazy, they can wiggle out. So we do recommend, you'll see Truman has it there, we recommend using one of these just, you can get them for like $1, just these regular carabiners to connect the collar to the front D-ring. And I recommend this with all harnesses. I'm a safety freak. I just really like the idea that if for some reason not that these pieces of equipment don't break, but if maybe you put it on wrong one day or something comes
I
apart.
never thought of that. That's a great
Yeah.
idea. So just connect the collar to the harness, and just in
Connect
case.
from the D-ring to the harness for just in case. Yeah.
And that way your dog doesn't get away. If
Right.
they're so put.
And it's
if you
like
drop the
99
leash,
cents.
then
Right.
it's
Well,
not
yeah.
sure.
If you're glad you can connect via a waist leash and a regular leash. We do those too. You can see
that's
Yazzie
smart.
has a couple forms of equipment, but see how you've just connected the collar to the harness.
Great. Okay, so that's for moderate to mild
Right.
pullers. What do you have when you have your dog is so out of control pulling? They see a bird, they see a squirrel,
Or barking or
They see-
lunging at other dogs. that
yeah,
kind of
they have
thing.
they're
so-
reactive, which we'll get to that. But
or if you are very frail, maybe you just had a surgery and you cannot be pulled.
yeah,
So
or
we've
yeah,
got
maybe you're
those guys.
pregnant. I've talked to people
Right.
like that. They're
It's
worried
winter.
about
It's icy. So then we go up to a head halter, and I brought 3 different kinds.
Okay.
Here. This is by far my favorite. It's called the Nutrix. There's a little bit of a learning curve for owners. Yazzie's wearing one right here, the same color one. The dog should be able to completely pant, drink, bark, hold a ball in their mouth. So you're not restricting movement at all.
Okay.
It's extremely humane, but like I said, there's a learning curve. You put it on like this. Tuck the ears behind. You've got the safety of this clip, which goes onto the collar. Right? Your dog should always wear a collar with tags
Okay.
for identification. And then this clips to the leash. So that's it. It's comfortable for them, but you don't just slap this on your dog out of the box. You really want to work to desensitize your dog to this. There's lots of great videos out there. My favorite one is called Gene Donaldson Conditions and Emotional Response with a Gentle Leader, which is this one we'll get to next. But
Is that just a brand?
it's just a brand.
Okay, 'cause it's kind of like Kleenex.
Right,
Like
right.
the
It's
Band-Aid.
Gene Donaldson Conditions, a
Yeah.
Kleenex, same thing. So this one is great. If you feel like there's any bells and whistles on this, I promise if you can get past the figuring it out, you will love it. It's a life changer. But
How much is that one?
I think we get a great discount through the rescue, but I think they're around $40 for the general public. It's a great company. Sandy Day is ready to answer any email that you send through the website. She just is on it. She'll help you fit it to your dog and all that kind of stuff.
And if it's worth not pulling, if it's worth
Your back and
not
and then these
falling
are
down.
2 other head halters that are a little more straightforward. They are static, so meaning once they are adjusted to your dog, they are set in this position. With this, if your dog is not pulling, it's very loose. If they bark, lunge, pull, it slides down and tightens around the mouth.
Oh,
It's not a
that's why
muzzle. It's not going to prevent a bite, but it's going to help in that direction.
And that's why it's fancier.
It's fancier. And then this is a halty, and this is a gentle leader. There are other head halters, which are also great. They go on like that and clip up behind. And then the leash is connected here. They give you much more control. Again, you don't just put these on right out of the box. You have to desensitize these to your dog.
And why? So let's talk a little bit about these because why are these good? Why do these work? A lot of people suggest, and you suggest, these are good for the big time pullers.
Big time pullers, or if you, for some reason, can't have pulling. This happens to be Yazzie wearing this equipment in my reactive dog class. So she is a dog that used to bark and lunge at other dogs. So for that reason, we recommend, or if you have a dog that with any aggression issues, this gives you the most control. You have control of their head and where their head goes. One thing I will say about these that's super important, if you grew up with the old school way of training where you were popping your collar, you popping the collar on the dog, you see the folks that are walking and they jerk the dog back.
Yank them around.
You absolutely cannot do this on a gentle leader or any kind of head halter, Nutrix, any of them. To the extent that I will not even let my clients put these on until they can go on a walk with me and show that they are no longer popping. Because this is like power steering to your dog's spine. You cannot pop the collar. So if you are in the habit of collar popping, get out of it before you try one of these.
Okay, that's a great point.
Right?
That's a great quote right there.
Right.
So, and you were saying too, this is not a sign. People kind of take gentle leaders or take face harnesses.
Head halters, yeah.
Head halters. Okay, I knew it was something. Head harnesses. People can be intimidated by them. People can think that, oh, that dog has a muzzle on. I'm scared. I need to cross the street, something like that.
Absolutely.
But it's not that at all.
It's not that. And that's why I encourage never buy them in black. Does she look scary in hers? No.
No, she looks cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you want to, write friendly on it with a Sharpie or, put, your little rhinestone, anything, people do all different kinds of things to kind of make them look a little more, not so scary, I guess. So yeah, and the thing to remember is if your dog's barking and lunging, they look a lot more scary if they're barking and lunging than if they're wearing one of these guys. Yeah. And frequently we can, what we're talking about right now is management, not training. Frequently what happens, like in my reactive dog class, is you come to the class wearing this, but through the training and behavior modification, you can hopefully graduate off of this then. It's a tool. And some folks just find that once that they're satisfied with the results that this has provided without any training. So you can do it either way. But if this really bothers you, the aesthetics really bother you, you can just have it your goal that you're working to transition off of this and onto a body harness or something else.
And so when you're looking for a harness, you say get off of the back, go to the front. You can use one of the harnesses on the head. And what are some differences that you look for when you're talking about the reactive versus aggression?
What is the difference?
Yeah, because what do you think? What you really need to look for in the next couple minutes? So you're looking at when you're getting into that training versus management.
Right.
What are some things that you need to look out for?
Like if you need training, well, just because a dog is reactive, meaning if he bark, lunges, vocalizes, unleash, does not mean he's necessarily aggressive. One of our volunteers, Johanna, has a lovely little black pit bull named Luna who looks like a pterodactyl. Like she sounds like she is going to kill you on the end of a leash. It's not, but it's just frustration because she wants to play with the other dog. That is textbook reactivity. Aggressive dogs also will show reactivity, but that barking and lunging, sometimes there is aggressive intent, sometimes there's not. With Luna, she's frustrated, she wants to get to that dog and play, and she wants to get there now. So she's going to scream and yell till she can get to that dog.
Sounds like a pterodactyl.
We call her Luna Dactyl. So that's Luna. Now she also took my reactive dog class, and then we have other dogs. Yazzy's is fear-based, so she doesn't do that, but hers is for a different reason. Then we have dogs that are more aggressive and would cause damage if they got to the other dog, but it can frequently look very similar. The treatment is generally the same, but it can look similar. So it's usually, if you're going to tackle that kind of thing, you want to go with a behavioral consultant that has shown good results using science-based methods to treat reactivity or aggression.
And make sure you're doing it in the best way possible with someone who has that expertise.
Yep.
And you have a couple more collars to show us.
Yeah, and then collars. So if your dog doesn't pull, or just pulls slightly, and you want to know what's the best out there in collars, I really recommend Martingale collars. There's no plastic clip, so there's nothing to break. They go, she's not wearing one there, but one's gonna cycle through and come up. He's wearing one. That's Truman. He's with our rescue and looking for a home.
He has them for adoption.
Yes, there's a Martingale collar on a dog. So those are these, and I just brought a couple different sizes. But so they go over the dog's head. There's no buckle. You tighten them up once they're on the dog, and clip the leash here. So there's a little bit of room to tighten. But
I love that.
It's also kind of called a limited slip sometimes, so that it can, but not so much that it would be inhumane or cause any kind of damage. And here's one for a smaller dog.
And these are gorgeous too.
They really are, yeah. You can get them in all different kinds. This one's Serious Republic. This one is Upcountry. It's a Rhode Island company. And you can get them in, for a smaller dog, and you clip the leash there, and if they pull, it gets a little bit tighter. But you don't have it so that it would cause any kind of damage or harm. It just tightens a little bit.
So if, like, my dog doesn't like to be away from me, if I'm taking her to the vet, she's like an alligator.
Yeah,
to get
you
out
don't
of
want
her
them
collar.
to squirm out of their collar. That's a good point. That's also great for this. Here at Handsome Dance Rescue, we all have all our dogs in martingales because they can't wiggle out of them as easy.
That's really the only time. She's fine on a leash. She's perfect on a leash.
Yep.
But the only
So
time
you want
if
to go
I
with the
take
martingale
her,
collar.
so that would be perfect because she can slip her collar if she's trying to get away from whoever. But,
Absolutely.
So this would be great for that.
What?
Thank you so much.
Sure.
Heather,
Thanks for
wonderful,
having me.
As always. So Heather Gutshall with Outbound Hounds, and she is showing us some different types of collar and collars, equipment that you can use to help with walking your dog and to prevent pulling. All right, so thank you, Heather, so much. We're going to get this cleaned up and bring in our next guest. So thank you so much for doing this. We'll see you in a couple